Are you a Filipino living in Middle East, Europe, Asia and the Pacific, USA or Canada? You are our story. You are our Filipinos world.
The Filipinos World every Saturday 5 to 6:30 p.m. only in the Filipinos World and the Manila Times Facebook pages.
Sign up for a year and pay less than 71 pesos per month. Visit tmt.ph/premium to get your free 30 days of the Manila Times Premium.
This program is in partnership with the Manila Times, Azul TV, and brought to you by Love Module, Bex Logistics Solutions.
Hello, everyone. Are you ready to explore a revolutionizing approach to innovation, AI, and the future of business in the Philippines? Today, we have an extraordinary guest who's at the forefront of digital transformation and innovation strategy. So, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business leader, or someone looking to understand how AI will shape our future, this episode is a must watch. So get ready to challenge your assumptions and unlock new possibilities for growth. So hello, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, and to all the Filipinos across the globe. I am Karla Kangleon, and welcome to my episode Spotlight on Global Leaders. I'm all about connecting people and opportunities, and of course, as the founder of Expat Careers, Global Community, co-founder of Livestream Network Events, and your host right here on the Filipinos World. I'm thrilled to be your guide to everything exciting happening in the Philippines. So to keep you in the loop on the latest trends, let's get right into it. We have with us a visionary leader who's revolutionizing the way Filipino businesses approach innovation and AI. And he's a CEO of MBGNX, an AI digital transformation company, and a general partner at MBGN Ventures. With expertise in corporate innovation strategy, digital transformation, and new venture creation, he's here to share insights that could transform the way you think about business and technology. So join me in welcoming my mastermind colleague and friend, Mr. Rolan Marco Garcia.
Hey Carla, hey everyone. Thanks for
Hello,
having me.
Rolan. It's fantastic to have you on the show. So before we start off with deep diving into the business side of things, let me ask you, who is Rolan Marco Garcia really?
Okay, so I'll probably do this quick. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been doing business for more than a decade now. I'm an engineer by profession. I'm a chemical engineer. But then I did my postgrad in business at AIM, which I also teach as a professor of innovation strategy. We started MBGN X, or the MBGN group in general, right, around 5 years ago, with the goal of essentially helping organizations in emerging markets do digital transformation or corporate innovation. It has grown to quite a size now. So we've expanded in Europe. And we're currently expanding in Australia. And the goal really is how do we help organizations transform from manual to modern, for example, or how do we help organizations build a digital core, rewiring their core operations, building better customer experiences, even building new ventures, right? So we think that in these past years, that corporate innovation has really been what I'm passionate about. And now with the advent of AI, that's something that we're helping organizations do as well.
So that is really, really interesting because if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Or maybe how young are you and how did you get to where you are right now?
I'm 34, turning 35 next March. Um, yeah, I started essentially after college. I was in tech right away after I did my undergrad. Um, First job was in Singapore, and then I didn't like the corporate world, so I decided to start my first business. And this is my fourth company already.
Wow, okay. So how did you go from studying biological engineering and chemistry to becoming a leader in the digital transformation?
So I was always fascinated with tech. I never practiced bioengineering or chemical engineering. I did the stint in Unilab. I was a research chemist there. But then I think I like talking to people more than microbacteria. Right? Uh, so that's essentially how it started. And I wanted to kind of, I was pulled by the entrepreneurship bug, if you may. I wanted to do my own thing, wanted to build impact. Um, yeah, essentially that's how we started entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you must have like someone who influenced you or who inspired you to do this. So, is there anyone in mind that actually triggered that aha moment in your mind and said, "Oh, okay, this is what I really want to do."
Yeah, the formation, I think, with the fascination with innovation, tech started with undergrad, right? Because of all of the engineering subjects, right? The space tech, mechanical stuff, right? It really fascinated me, right? So I knew I wanted to be in the innovation space. I just didn't know what kind of company, what would I be doing in the innovation space until I was fascinated with the tech startup industry. Um, and through that, right, I realized that corporations want as well the innovative nature of startups inside their organizations. So that's how we kind of started. Okay, why can't we help these organizations bring essentially Silicon Valley within their organizations? What are essentially the strategies, methodologies, and thought processes that need to be built within large organizations for that to happen? Right?
So, within large
And
organizations as well as the small ones who want to start up their own companies, right? So, um, because the talk now is definitely about AI and integration of AI in their businesses. So it's a buzzword we hear everywhere. So what does it really mean for businesses in the Philippines to have AI in their transformation?
okay, right now, um, first two things. The first one is we are only scratching the surface of AI. The only thing right now, secondly, that's happening, or at least what's famous, is generative AI. But there are a lot of different types of AI, right? The thesis of Embiggen and why we are in this kind of business, right, is that we think that the impact of AI will not just be with the customer facing processes. We think that the impact of AI will best be seen with the guts of the operations of large organizations or small organizations. We're talking about how do you, for example, one function that's very, very manual right now, especially with medium and large companies, is the bookkeeping or treasury functions within the CFO, right? Things like how do I match the receipts to do it in Excel? And if you're a big company, you probably have like millions and millions of transactions per month, right? Using
Yeah.
AI, you can actually streamline that, right? That previously will take you 2 weeks to reconcile all of these transactions into your Excel sheet into
Okay.
probably 1 hour.
How 1 hour? So let's say 2 weeks of work is what equivalent to
Yeah,
perhaps 1 hour. How? How do you do that?
yeah. So things like, how do you do computer vision with the receipts, for example, right? So the usual very mundane things like reimbursements, the receipts, you give it to your accountant or whoever in your finance company, and they would log each receipt in the Excel. You just take a picture, the AI recognizes it, and automatically logs on to the platform. Essentially, this is one example. Imagine this at scale. One of our clients was a regional insurance companies, and they have 150,000 claims per month from hospitals. So the healthcare, right? Health plans, and 150,000 claims per month, right? That
Wow.
usually comes in a truckload of paper delivered to their office, and 100 people will now need to sort these stacks of paper and input it in the Excel. And then from there, someone differently would need to check if the Excel input was correct. So the company, that insurance company, regional insurance company, spends, I think, around 100 million per year just in that specific process. So those
And
are
then
the, we
savings
think,
now. Yeah.
yeah. So the big reduction, 90% increase in efficiency
Oof.
because of AI, right? And these are the things that are not being shown in the media. And these are the things that we are working on in Big N, that, again, because of those two examples only. I'm not talking about other industries yet, like predictive maintenance of big, let's say if you're a power company, or let's say a telco company, and you have all of these towers. Did you
Right.
know, for example, that you'd spend 1 billion pesos a year just maintaining these towers, that could have been prevented anyway? So our use of AI would be predictive maintenance. Right. So
Wow.
so that's the thesis that
Yeah.
we're working on, right? So these are not consumer facing solutions of AI. These are essentially the guts of the operations of large organizations, or even
Right.
the finance function. Even small companies have that, right?
So
All
especially in the
companies should
industry
have
of
that,
BPO, what are your thoughts on BPO?
right? So I feel like the BPO would not be wiped out, right? So
Yes.
that's in my opinion, we will still need human intervention, especially with very complex customer complaints. But as we talked about, right, with Luis during that talk, right, when we were together last week, right,
Mhm.
we think that level one and level two, let's say, scenarios of customer service might already be tackled by AI. But let's say level three and four complexity, out of the scale of 1 to 4, would still need the human touch, right?
Yes.
Definitely, the BPO industry will be impacted, but it will not be wiped out because we still
Isn't it
need
like
that human
I,
touch.
I wonder if I mean AI is supposed to be like an assistant. I mean, for us to use these AI apps, they are tools, not really to replace us, but to actually enhance how we do things in our daily lives and also with our work. So, Roland, for you personally, how do you use AI in your daily
So,
life or work?
so that finance app that we built, right? We're trying to build finance workflows within the company. We're also trying to use it with proposal creations or basic copywriting, right? Because in Embiggen, right, we're a B2B company, we're a services company. So if you can imagine the amount of proposals that we need to create every week. So our revenue operations department or team uses AI to essentially build all of these proposals that previously would take us from 3 days to around an hour, because now you have an AI assistant, right? Second thing is I use it in my personal life. Obviously, Chat GPT, right? So things like I don't want to search Google anymore, right? I'm flying to Europe in a few weeks, so I want to know. Okay, so what's the temperature in Europe, and what should I bring? I don't even want to look at Google anymore because Chat
Hmm.
GPT would essentially give me the answers, right? So we also use it. Like just yesterday, we had a job posting on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn already has AI embedded. I didn't even look at build the job description anymore, or what would you be doing, and that like usually would probably take me 3 hours to craft. It
Yeah.
was just there magically, right, on LinkedIn. So it's just small ways of using AI.
Right.
Um,
Is there one
yeah, in my
specific
daily life,
one?
yeah.
Is there one specific AI that you use every day that you cannot live without?
No, I try to use all of them, all of the LLMs, right? ChatGPT, Perplexity. I'm even using this. That there's this startup called Martin. It's a Y Combinator startup. It's like if you watched Iron Man, you'd know Jarvis. Jarvis is
Yeah.
his AI assistant, right? So Martin is kind of like Jarvis, right? So and they're building it, right? They're still building it, but I've been talking with Martin using my phone, saying, "Hey, can you build me?" So we're going on a honeymoon, for example, December. Martin was the one who built our itinerary. And so I asked Martin, Martin, can you build me a itinerary for a 2-week trip in Vienna and Spain, for example? And he did that, right?
This is crazy.
So yeah, so you
This
should
is
try that
crazy.
startup. You should try that
You know,
startup. In
the
fact,
world today, the world today.
Martin can now do calls for you or craft emails. So hey, send an email to Karla about this interview, for example, right? So
Martin is going to be my best friend.
you should try it tonight, yeah. And the more you
All
use
right.
it, the better he becomes.
Yeah. Where can I? What is it, Mart? Where do I find it?
Martin, just the
Yeah.
App Store. It's Martin.
Just that. Okay. There's one as well that I find somewhat similar. It's called Hume.
Yeah.
Hume.ai. And I asked, like, I had a conversation with Hume. I'll feature it in one of the shows in the future. But I would ask it about the recipe of a yogurt, garlic yogurt
Yeah.
recipe. Or I also asked about like some thoughts about businesses or something. Anyways, it was a conversation that was like it was like talking to a friend. Oh my God. So yeah, I think right now we are in this cusp of actually breakthroughs. A lot of breakthroughs. How we use these AI tools is up to
Mm.
us, and actually how
Yep.
we can what we can create out of these tools can be astounding. Can be blue ocean.
Yep.
So yeah, so all right, so let's move on. Let's shift gears now to innovation. So what
Mm.
strategies can Filipino companies adopt to stay competitive in as business leaders with the use of technology?
Okay. So probably give you a preface of my talk in Mastermind. So I'll probably say it here first, right? So there are three levels of innovation. There are three types of innovation, essentially. So the first type of innovation is what we call efficiency innovation. So this is how do you improve your current business? This is essentially it. So we're talking about processes, we're talking about new products and services, right? The second type of innovation is called adjacent innovation. So adjacent innovation is how do you now extend your current value proposition to new markets, right? So an example of this is what Amazon did, right? So they started with books e-commerce, but they extended that value proposition to building Kindle. So it
Right?
was not a book, it was also not a marketplace. It was a hybrid of both in the digital world. So they extended that, right? So that's what you call adjacency innovation. The third type of innovation is called transformative innovation. This is something that is completely out of your core business, you have not done before. Amazon is also the perfect example of this. So from adjacent innovation, what they did was they built Amazon Web Services or AWS. From an e-commerce company to building a digital book kind of device to cloud computing, which was they didn't have any experience in cloud computing, right? So that's what we call level 3 innovation, or transformative innovation. So level 1, level 2, level 3.
Right.
So saying those premises, right? The advice always, right? Whether you're a small company, a medium-sized company, or even a conglomerate, should always be what you call an ambidextrous leader. What is ambidextrous? Ambidexterity is being able to use the right and the left, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being an ambidextrous leader, ambidextrous CEO, ambidextrous business owner means that you're taking care of improving your core business or efficiency innovation or level 1, but at the same time, you're doing level 2 and level 3 innovation at any given time. So your organization needs to be ambidextrous. You can't just focus on what you were used to already. You need to be exploring level 2, like what Amazon did with Kindle, and even level 3, what Amazon did with AWS.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we know where Amazon is right now. The
Yes.
same is true for big tech companies, right? Mark Zuckerberg, for example, just released the eyeglass, right, with AI and most advanced AR VR glass in the world.
Even Ray-Ban.
And yeah, and their core business is social media. How does that make sense? So they're
Yes.
doing level 1, level 2, level 3 innovation. So you might be overwhelmed with that, right? So where do I start? I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not Jeff Bezos, right? So medium-sized companies can always look at what are their strengths that they can leverage on to build new businesses while taking care of their core business, right? So for example, if my core business was about sari-sari store distribution,
Okay,
right? And I
let's
have
go
a
with
network of
yeah.
yes, and I have a network, let's say 200 sari-sari stores because those are my customers, right? Let's say they deliver cotton, whatever, right, or Coca-Cola. I'm a distributor of Coca-Cola. I deliver it to those sari-sari stores, and I have connections with 200, 300 sari-sari stores in my area. Most organizations will not monetize that network. So obviously, the only level 1 innovation is making sure that your distribution of Coca-Cola to those 200 sari-sari stores is efficient, which means you need to lower down the costs. You probably need to use digital solutions, right?
Yes.
But if you talk about level 2 and level 3 innovation, what can you now do to expand your wallet share for those sari-sari stores that are already your customers? Right? Is it building an app to help sari-sari stores? Is it distributing all other products, not just Coca-Cola? Is it making an AI financial powered whatever app, right? Just for
Right.
those sari-sari stores. Because that already are my customers. I know their pain points.
Right.
I have access to that network. What can I do next?
How about
Example.
if you're gonna really how about if you're gonna really like this is a middle-sized company, right? What if it's like a really, really small, like maybe someone like just me thinking, okay, I have an idea, I want to make it into a business. Where do I begin?
Right. I would say that you shouldn't concern yourself yet with level 2 or level 3 innovation. Focus on level 1, which is how do I increase my top line, which is my revenue, and how do I reduce costs, which
Right.
is my bottom line, my net profit, right? Usually, top line is a function of go-to-market strategy, marketing, product development, and all of those other things to acquire customers. The bottom line is now a function of retention and how efficient your operations are. How do you reduce your cost of service, right? If it takes 3 people to run your finance department using AI, can you just hire 1 person? It's an example.
Right.
If you have no marketing before, can you use AI to build your marketing team? You don't even need to hire anyone. You can just do it yourself, right? So
Speaking of
those are
hiring,
things, right?
yeah, when it comes to hiring, that means the educational system has to adapt as well to the new technology. So, do you think the education system right now is preparing students for the future of business?
Well, they're trying. Um, you know,
Some
I
changing,
am
right?
I am an educator as
Yeah.
well, right? So I mentioned I teach in AIM, no? But
Mm-hmm.
previous to that, I was Chief Innovation Officer of the FEU Group of Schools. And obviously, they're one of the biggest private university groups in the country, and we're looking at their curriculums. Right? I think that they're trying their best, or all schools, both private and public, are trying their best. The problem right now that I'm seeing is even if you want to put AI in your curriculum, there's no one to teach it, right? Um, right. So that's
Yeah.
the problem that we've
Yeah.
seen, right?
That's
How
just
do
one
you
thing.
scale? Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
go
How
ahead.
do you scale with that one? Because that's my next question, actually. How?
So there has to be, for me, a massive upskilling program for AI
Mm.
for all of the schools in the Philippines, right? That's number one.
Yes.
Second, I do think that the government needs to lead this um, uh, to perhaps look at, okay, how do we teach AI in the curriculum? What is the correct, for example, simple subject like prompt engineering, right? Can a non-technical person learn this? And if yes, how do you teach that to a non-technical person, right?
Right.
Can a non-technical person teach and receive this information? Those are issues that I think need to be resolved because the students are there. They're going to learn what they're going to learn,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just a matter of how do we now systematically include it in the infrastructure of our education, and how do you scale it so that it becomes a norm, essentially, right?
Yeah. So for businesses right now, like because maybe I don't have time. Let's say I have a mid-sized business. I don't have time to learn all these. Can we ask and begin for help with all these end-to-end services that I might need?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Just message Karla.
What's the difference with MBGAN X and the MBGAN Ventures? Do you mind sharing what your company is about?
Sure. MBN X is the consulting part. So this is where we do the AI strategy, the digital transformation strategy, and the execution of AI and digital tools, right? MBN Ventures is the fund. So we invest in AI first companies, B2B, in health and fintech.
So, how many companies have you invested in so far with the MBGAN Ventures?
So we're building and investing in four currently with a pipeline of 15.
What's your criteria? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, no, okay. Um, as in with any technology, right? We're not technology led, we are problem led. What does that
Okay.
mean? What does that mean, right? The investment thesis that we have is you need to be solving a deep and big problem using AI, right? Usually, because of our consulting kind of background, right, we think that these problems or these solutions will be best be addressed, for example, with the healthcare industry, with medical records, right? B2B,
Yes.
B2B pa rin, right?
Mhm.
So problem needs to be very clear, very deep.
Yes.
Um, doesn't need to be AI yet, but the mindset is AI first. That eventually, once I get all of this data, once we get all these customers, we're gonna build an AI kind of product um, as an infrastructure for the business model, right? Um, So criteria should be in fintech, should be in health tech, or should be in legacy industries that need disruption,
Mhm.
like construction. Construction is one of the least digitized sectors in the world. One of
Mhm.
our clients in Poland, in Europe now, is a multinational construction company, and we're trying to build AI systems and digital transformation for them, right? So these are legacy industries that, again, we think AI has the highest impact to. So again, I mentioned earlier, we just see the surface of AI right now, and very
Exactly.
focused on Gen AI. But there's a lot of things you can do with AI. Yeah, and we think we can invest in these particular solutions to very big problems, and the
Mm,
founders need to be good as well.
yes.
So yeah.
We gotta have the same vibe as well, because you know what? Relationships matter in business and of course in life. So, Roland, you have a lot of things that food for thoughts that I'm actually learning right now. So, looking ahead, what do you see as the future of work and businesses in 2025 as we adapt the digital transformation?
I think we are going to see a lot of use cases in AI in the next 2 to 5 years. Um, the future of work, I think that employees or us essentially will learn how to use AI more. Um, and organizations will learn how to use AI to reduce the costs of manpower, or at least to enhance productivity, right?
Yes.
So big organizations here, like the biggest telcos, the conglomerates, are just still trying to figure out, okay, what is our AI use case? How do we use this at scale, right? So they're running a few pilots right now, but nothing really on deep AI. They're just doing productivity AI, right? So I feel like in the next 2 to 5 years, our organizations, if implemented properly, will have more productive employees, right? And these employees now know how to use AI, and it's not afraid of AI. In fact, it complements their work more.
Right.
Um, and I feel like, thirdly, not only use AI, right, but employees, I feel, or teams can build their own AI. And this is pretty simple, right? This is Chat GPT API, right? Like, I have a friend who works for Citibank,
Okay.
who worked with Citibank,
Hmm.
and he was in the, I think, the transactions team, right? And again, all of these financial institutions are very, very manual, very Excel driven, spreadsheet
Oh,
driven, right? And he thought, okay, well, I think I can make this work faster. So he built his own thing. And now the company started using it, right? So I feel like employees who know how to harness AI will build their own AI agents. So they're not going to be dependent just on ChatGPT. They're not going to be dependent on some tech startup. They can actually take the reins and say, okay, this work stream, this workflow, I can make this faster, right? From step 1, 2, 3, I can make it step 1 and 2 only using
mm.
AI, right? I feel like there's a chance if we have good upskilling programs in the corporates or even in small businesses, that can happen. Right?
Where
I
can
can
they
just
find
take
these programs though? Because education is key when it comes to this upskilling, and basically, how can it be taught and where can we learn as well? So, is there any tips on where we can find out more?
I feel like there's a lot. You can ask ChatGPT for AI courses, for free AI courses.
No, but
Um,
the thing is, one thing that I noticed as well, right now when we go to YouTube or go to a lot of, like, even just search, there are a lot of responses that it's like over information. It's like information
right,
overload. So yes, ChatGPT and Gemini. I also use Gemini. I also use Claude.
mm,
My favorite would be Claude AI, and it would really definitely provide like different kinds of responses, but at the
yeah,
same time we have to really make sure that not all responses are accurate. So in a way it's like it's hard to like really know and really understand, like, and learn how to do this. So when you start fresh with AI, where do you begin apart from YouTube?
there are small boot camps and courses, even in the Philippines, happening, right? And a few of my friends are running it. You should. I think you'll just
Tell us
know.
more about that. What is that? You and your friends are running a boot camp. Come on, show
Yeah.
us. Tell us more about your AI boot camp.
So Doc Ligot and Karla, which you met probably
Yes.
in the events, right? So they're running what we call the AI Republics. They have I from the last time we spoke, they have two levels. Level one is what you call a 0 to 1. Essentially, you don't have any tech background and you want to be able to learn AI and prompt engineering and all these things. So they have that. But they also
Okay.
have a more advanced one, which is for software developers already, right? So people who are already in tech, which you can now use prompt engineering stuff, machine learning stuff. So that's one
Mhm.
program that's available. We're also within MBiggen, our head of AI from Canada was a Filipino from Canada. You should also interview. His name is Miguel Testa. He
Okay.
lives in Vancouver. I'll send you his profile if you want to do the AI thing. But he's our head of AI. He's also part of MBiggen Ventures as one of the GPs there. But he's thinking of offering a course. He teaches this in the University of British Columbia. And he was thinking, can I do this in the Philippines? And we were saying, sure, yeah, why not? Right? We'll help you out. So
Yeah,
that's one
that's
guy.
wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
So can they find information? Where can they find information on their boot camps and when are they happening?
For Sila Carlo, I think they already have marketing materials up. I think
Okay.
they're gonna run their first cohort in a few weeks. I would say
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they'll probably run cohort 2, 3 onwards, etc., etc.
Yeah.
For Miguel, we can just talk to him and push him to do it. We can probably help him out, right? But yeah, he's. You'll probably find this in our website if we do decide
Yes.
that we're gonna do it.
Labmodal manufactures a highly distinctive and exclusive range of interior solutions that combines functional excellence with design appeal. Solutions with integrated, innovative, ergonomic features to well-designed workplaces. Our company is based on the inherent values that shape the core of who we are. It is through our living values that we continue to fulfill the promise of our ideal and environmental design standards. Each and every groundbreaking product we've introduced over the years has been the result of our team's hard work and dedication to provide our absolute best to who we care most about, who is our customers. Whether the job is big or small, our team is used to solving complicated tasks and makes sure to get projects to successful completion. Whether it is local or global. This is why Labmodal is known as one of Europe's leading manufacturers of innovative system solutions for devices used in laboratory facilities, hospitals, and educational facilities. Solutions that can be easily adapted to the growing needs and workflows demands of the future. Labmodal, designing safety.
So Roland, you represented the Philippines in global innovation competitions. And so, what was that experience like? And what did it teach you about our country's potential in the global scale?
Okay, so I did this when I was in grad school. I was doing my master's in innovation. And this organization called the Global Innovation Management Institute, or GIMI, ran essentially innovation case competitions for clients. And the people who will be building these cases are the grad school students. In our case, I was representing AIM, right, when I was doing my grad school. It's funny because in the cohort, we had MIT, we had Yale, we had all of these Ivy League schools. We also have a lot of schools in India, in Canada, in Europe, right? So the University of Bologna, for example, was there, right? And every year that competition has happened, there's no year that AIM has not won.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In other words, there's no year that a non-Philip there's always a Filipino that would win every year in that
Right,
yearly competition, right?
right.
Okay. So, and these are like top schools, right? So in my head, it's like we can obviously globally compete all the
Mhm.
time with even all these Ivy Leaguers.
Right.
They're just people like us, right? There's nothing
Yeah.
really special that we cannot also do.
So I wonder if
And
they those winners. I mean, if we get to win, does that mean that the education that they've had is here locally in the Philippines, or they were studying also abroad and just broaden their horizons and learning
yeah,
all
we were
these?
all here. We were so these are different schools, right? Seven different schools.
Okay.
We were representing AIM
Mm.
as a business school. Um, and yeah, they were studying there, right? They were studying Harvard. They were studying in whatever university,
Right.
doing their MBA as well, or their masters. And yeah, it's a level playing field, right? For
Yeah.
Filipinos, whether you're Filipino, whether you're Canadian, anyone could essentially win. The second place, so we won that global competition, right? So we
Wow.
were first place.
Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
The second place was Indian. They were, and the third place was, I think, a Italian school.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
No US school.
Interesting. Interesting. So, I think I recently attended an AI tech competition at AIM. So,
Right?
I think we're one of the judges there. Um, how was the selection of the showcase? How were they for you? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Hopefully, no one from AM is gonna watch this, but if they do, okay. I feel like um, a lot of the ideas, or most of the ideas, are in Filipino. It's hilaw pa.
Okay.
There needs to be a lot more kind of nuancing. Some of these startups don't know that really the problem that they're solving. I mean, they stated something, a problem they're solving, but I think that to really pinpoint a problem worth solving, it has to be very clear, and it has to be with surgical precision. A lot of those startups are solving too many problems. Secondly, a lot of those startups don't know what the root cause of the problem is, which is probably the problem that they should be solving, not the problem that they're saying. It's different.
I get that. I
Right?
get it.
Right. So, for example, this one, I asked this question for an energy startup,
Okay.
right? So they're trying to solve energy crisis, right? But really, when I asked the question, they were trying to solve energy distribution.
Okay.
The energy crisis was the PR problem. But what is the underlying problem there? It's the distribution of power.
Mm.
So I only understood when I asked it, right? So the real problem they're solving is not just even the distribution, it's the expensive distribution of energy or electricity.
Yeah.
So that was the problem that they're solving. So what's the problem with that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should have been, and they within the 5 of that main price distribution issue with electricity, they need to pick one out of the 5, just one. You cannot be
Um,
solving a lot of problems. So,
that's exactly it. Because I also do event management, and I don't really want to say we do end to end because I want to focus on something that we really do best, and
right.
actually allocate and designate our partners as well to do what they do best. So
Mm.
it's the end to end solution doesn't sit well with me somehow.
Yeah.
So let's say if someone pitches to you something that solves so many problems, does that mean they don't get to solve any problems?
Yes. You're exactly
Right?
right.
Right?
That also means that they don't understand the problem good enough. If you don't understand the problem good enough, you also want to build a solution good enough, right? So,
Exactly. And there's a lot of thought into this. So I'm thinking if we can invite you in a master class at some point and how to really pinpoint, identify, and I hope you do say yes, because like for people, maybe people like me, not regular people like me who would like to, okay, wow, this could be a good business, right? But somehow, what problem are you solving and who are you helping? Those are questions that maybe we think they're simple questions, but actually we really have to dig deep down into like the root of
yeah,
it all. And
it's hard.
somehow I really am so I'm gonna beg you for another show about this, just this in particular, because there's so many things that I wanna learn more from you. So let's do a closing for this one. So what's next for Roland Marco Garcia in 2025 and beyond?
I mentioned that we're expanding Europe and Australia.
Mhm.
Hopefully that pans out. Get more clients in Europe, get more clients in Australia, or at least start the Australian market. We've been making moves, and hopefully next year we're able to open those markets and build offices there already. Right? I don't want to fly in and fly out all the time.
Wow,
That's
please
fun.
hire me, sana all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And any final words of wisdom for the viewers out there, especially those in the Philippines looking to, grow their business, or maybe even the
Yeah.
OFWs, we have overseas Filipino viewers as well, who are here, who may want to do businesses here in the Philippines. So any
Yeah.
words of wisdom?
Yeah. So if you already have a business, try to use AI and try to see how AI can help you. Right, make your process more efficient, so you bring your costs down and increase your revenue. Right, that's essentially what this is about. Top line, bottom line. Right. So you
Mm-hmm.
use AI to do your level 1 innovation, this efficiency innovation. If you don't have a business yet, there's a lot of problems in emerging markets like the Philippines that needs to be solved. A lot. If you're the type of person that wants to do the startup game, essentially, if you're a startup, right, you're trying to solve a problem, might not that be big, right, or you just see an opportunity. You look at high growth sectors. I feel real estate is high growth. Tech is obviously high growth. AI is high growth. I try to see opportunities there and try to see what problem we can solve. If you just want to invest, because it's one thing to build and run, it's also one thing to just invest. Uh, Try to, apart from the sure investments, which is real estate and all these stocks, right? Try to also look at venture capital or angel investing as an asset class for investments, which in the Philippines, kasi it's not yet sikat, right? Angel investments, what's that, right? How do I invest in tech? I have some money, but I don't know how to invest there. right?
Right.
Because we are all used to investing in real estate, in stocks, and all the traditional investment asset classes. But angel investment and venture capital is an asset class on its own that still needs to be, people need to know about.
Yes.
Um, so if you're an existing business owner, use AI. If you want to run and operate a business, look for high growth industries. And if you want to invest, also look at angel investments in tech as an alternative asset class to your usual investment portfolio. So,
What's the most in-demand industry right now to be in?
I don't know. I've only known tech. Uh, I'm all my money is in tech essentially right now,
Yes.
but I'm look at property as usual, right? Because I realized my portfolio is all high risk because of tech investments, right? It's venture capital, angel investments, very high risk. I need to look at more more stable ones, which are real estate, of course, bonds, stocks, the usual asset classes.
Right.
Baliktad ako eh.
Right.
Nandun ako sa mas risky, tapos pabalik sa mas conservative. Right? So,
Actually, that's do you know Cody Sanchez?
Yeah.
She is like one of my idols basically as well when it comes to business, and she said that she invests in boring businesses. So
Yeah.
boring businesses would mean something that actually is a stable one, which is like
Yeah.
maybe cleaning
A laundromat.
services,
Yeah.
laundromat, yeah, those things. It Are her strategies applicable to the Philippines though?
Yes.
Not yes.
So part of the venture capital asset class is what Cody is doing, which is source funds. What source funds are essentially taking mature businesses, usually the boring traditional ones, and growing it and flipping it. We can talk about that sometime.
Yes.
That's one of the
Actually,
things we're trying to do.
That's definitely something that I would love to discuss with you. And of course, this is an incredible conversation with my mastermind colleague and friend, Rolan Marco Garcia. And of course, maraming salamat, Roland, for sharing your valuable
Thank you.
insights, and of course, time and wisdom with us. Such an honor to have you. And to our viewers, remember, the Filipinos World is your platform. We're here to celebrate your achievements, connect you with opportunities, and of course, get you inspired. So remember that the greatest asset is your ability to adapt and grow. And whether you're an OFW dreaming of starting a business back home or wherever you are, or an aspiring entrepreneur with a big idea or a corporate leader looking to drive innovation, the principles we've discussed today can help you break through to new levels of success. And of course, Roland, thank you. And I would like also to thank our Mafe Management Consultancy in partnership with the Manila Times in collaboration with Azul TV, brought to you by Lab Module and Bayanihan Express. And of course, we have our friends' products right here who I use. Tiff, hello, from One Earth Organics, and Ancient and Brave and Collagen, Bee Coffee, and of course, why I exercise every week would be with Next Gen Fitness. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn for more inspiring content. And if you found value in today's episode, please share it with your friends and colleagues who might benefit from these insights. And so, till next time, join me at Spotlight on Global Leaders here at the Filipinos World. This is Karla Kangleon, reminding you that the power to shape your future is in your hands. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Paalam.
Mafe Management is a company dedicated to empowering individuals and businesses in PR and marketing, social media management, online show and podcast production, business consulting, graphic design, photography and videography, workshops and classes, events management, personality development, logo creation, illustrations, and animation. In working together to turn their dreams into reality. Get one step closer to elevating yourself and your business by contacting hello@mafemanagement.com. Let us empower you.
Sign up for a year and pay less than 71 pesos per month. Visit tmt.ph/premium to get your free 30 days of the Manila Times Premium.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This program is in partnership with the Manila Times, Azul TV, and brought to you by Love Module, Bex Logistics Solutions.